clogged arteries are dangerous as it could lead to different problems like nausea, chest pain, heart palpitations, fatigue, and stroke. So trust me when I say people are willing to pay a whole lot of money to buy medicines like cholesterol-reducing drugs, aspirin, beta blockers, or nitroglycerin to clear out their arteries. This set of people will be willing to pay for information like this if they get to know that there are some other things they could just do regularly, and it will help them unclog their arteries. You could be one of them and you're watching this right now, or you don't even know that your arteries are getting clogged up. Did you know that fermented foods like fatty cheese, nuts, and the likes also have their benefits and they can help you clean out your arteries? Or have you heard from somewhere that eating fats like this are actually the problem that plagues your arteries? You'd be shocked to find out how untrue that is. In today's video, I will be showing you how fermented foods are the best meal to take to clean out your arteries, and I'm sure you will be glad you watched this video. Before we get into it, I would appreciate it if you could please hit the like and subscribe buttons for me real quick. So firstly, let's start with the basics. What does it mean when someone says an artery is clogged? It's not just a term used in the medical rooms. When it's said that an artery is clogged, it means that there is a blockage or narrowing in the blood vessel that restricts or prevents the flow of blood through it. This blockage typically occurs due to the buildup of cholesterol, calcium, and other substances on the inner walls of the artery. This condition is medically referred to as atherosclerosis. Over time, the plaque buildup can become even more severe, reducing blood flow to vital organs and increasing the risk of serious health issues like heart attacks or strokes, as I mentioned earlier. This condition, the clogging of arteries, is often overlooked by people because they are unaware of its causes. It is only discovered when it is too late, leading individuals to incur significant medical expenses in their attempts to save themselves. Are you aware of the primary causes of clogged arteries? Are you willing to take action once you realize how these habits of yours could result in severe health complications? Simple habits or factors like smoking, an unhealthy diet, diabetes, being overweight, aging, chronic stress, an inactive lifestyle, high blood pressure, family history, and various other medical conditions are the major contributors to clogged arteries. And while some of these factors can be modified through personal choices, such as quitting smoking, adopting a healthier diet, or engaging in regular physical activity, there are aspects beyond our control. For instance, we cannot halt the natural aging process or change our family history. The significance of understanding these factors lies in the fact that it empowers us to take proactive measures to protect our cardiovascular health and minimize the risks associated with clogged arteries. It is essential to acknowledge the intricate interplay between these variables and the pivotal role they play in determining our overall well-being. So here is what you need to do regularly to help clean out your arteries before it gets so clogged up and leads to heart attacks and strokes. You have to incorporate more fermented foods into your diet, but hey, make sure it's balanced. Not too much, not too little. Now to the big question, how does fermented foods or fats like olive oil or seeds and nuts help clean out the arteries? There's this very important nutrient that has this responsibility of keeping calcium from building up in the arteries. It is a vitamin called vitamin K2, and its job is to keep calcium out of the arteries. It directs the calcium back into the bone, and if you are deficient in K2, you could actually build up this calcium in the arteries. Now, the reason I'm talking about this nutrient, vitamin K2, is because of where it can mostly be found. Yeah, in fermented foods. You guessed it right. Especially in fatty fermented foods like fatty cheese, fatty meats, salmon, some fatty sausages, and the rest. You have to start eating more fermented foods because we are at an age where people take more processed foods right now. All the grocery stores, the shops, and stalls all sell processed foods now, and it is sad. And there are a lot of fermented foods to try. Fermented vegetables are a great example. These healthy fats, such as those found in the foods earlier mentioned and in nuts and olive oil, as well as the omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish like salmon, also help clean out arteries in some other ways. They possess anti-inflammatory properties that can help reduce the inflammation that leads to the development of atherosclerosis, also helping to slow down the progression of plaque buildup. It also helps lower triglyceride levels in the blood, which is hugely beneficial as high triglycerides have been known to be associated with an increased risk of artery blockages, and also helps regulate blood pressure. Now, you see, the intriguing thing about this topic lies in what mainstream medicine typically advises us to do to prevent the clogging of our arteries. Conventional wisdom often suggests that one should steer clear of cholesterol and saturated fats. A quick online search will affirm that this advice is echoed across various sources. It might come as a surprise then to hear that fats are also an essential component of the dietary arsenal when it comes to cleansing arterial clogs. Don't worry, I will explain. Numerous sources have recommended shunning saturated fats as they are potentially dangerous to one's arteries. Even organizations like the American Heart Association advocate for the reduction of saturated fat intake and the elimination of trans fats, which can effectively lower LDL cholesterol levels. While the latter part of this recommendation is completely true, the former is not so. Some recent research has indicated that saturated fat might not be the artery-clogging villain it was once perceived to be. The real culprits to be wary of are factors other than fat. The consumption of foods high in sugar or refined carbohydrates can lead to elevated triglyceride levels in the blood, subsequently heightening the risk of heart disease. Comprehensive research, supported by evidence, has demonstrated that a diet rich in antioxidants from plant-based foods, coupled with the inclusion of olive oil and nuts, can be highly beneficial in maintaining cardiovascular health. Essentially, what this implies is that it's not fats in general that should be of concern, but rather the quantity consumed. As the old adage goes, too much of anything is bad. Thus, maintaining a well-balanced and health-conscious diet is of paramount importance, with careful attention to saturated fat and sugar intake. Further dietary choices that support the health of your arteries encompass a colorful array of fruits, vegetables, legumes, beans, and whole grains. Conversely, it's important to be discerning about the foods to avoid, with processed items topping this danger list. Many processed foods undergo radiation treatment to extend their shelf life by eradicating microbial agents that accelerate food spoilage. However, this process inadvertently eliminates beneficial microbes responsible for the production of vitamin K2 in foods. Consequently, it is advisable to steer clear of processed foods, especially those laden with trans fats, excessive sugar, or sodium. Refraining from refined carbohydrates, processed meats, red meats, margarine, and even alcohol is also prudent to safeguard arterial health. In addition to dietary considerations, several other factors and habits can be adopted to support the cleansing of your arteries. A combination of lifestyle changes and a healthy and balanced diet is key in this endeavor. Regular physical exercise, which is very important in enhancing blood circulation, quitting smoking, managing and shedding excess weight, practicing stress reduction techniques, moderating alcohol consumption, and scheduling routine health checkups all play pivotal roles in maintaining the vitality of your arteries. Prioritizing your health and recognizing the significance of monitoring the performance of every facet of your body are essential aspects of a holistic approach to well-being. It is often the case that individuals realize the cumulative impact of seemingly minor lifestyle adjustments only when confronted with adverse health outcomes. It is a poignant reminder that even the simplest of choices, such as incorporating more fruits into one's diet, can potentially avert the dire circumstances that some individuals find themselves in. Like I always say, prevention is better than cure, but if you already have clogged arteries or atherosclerosis, speaking with a doctor and getting prescribed medications from them is important. Everything I have said here is meant to be a way of preventing clogged arteries, so do not take them as a substitute for prescribed medications in the case that you already have atherosclerosis. So the next time you head to a grocery store, make sure you try to select more fermented foods than processed or sterile ones. You're welcome. That will be all for today on Healthy Heaven. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this video in the comments. I will be checking. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons as it gives the perfect motivation to keep creating contents like this for you. And also click the notification bell so you can be the first to know when I drop a new video. See you again soon. Cheers.